3, 2, 1. Hello YouTube, this is Cody with Search My Deck TCG. Today we are bringing you a tutorial on how to play the game. Just super simple, basic, in the most simple steps possible. Just how to play Pokemon. So without further ado, let's get into it. The game begins with a coin flip. Heads is evens, odds is tails. Whoever rolls it, the other person would call it. So let's call tails here. It is heads, so our opponent gets to choose. If you would like to go first, you cannot attack on your first turn. But if you go second, then you can attack. There's the differences between the two. So then, after who's decided who will go first, you go ahead and draw your 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Any basic Pokemon you find in your opening hand, you can go ahead and play as your active. And then any other Pokemon you find there, you can also play as your bench. So we choose our single active. You would put it face down, and you also put your bench face down. You do not have to play every Pokemon that you find on your bench. You can play as many as you would like. After that, if you do not have any basic Pokemon, then you would go ahead and reveal it to your opponent and shuffle into your deck and try again. They would get one extra card every time you do not get a basic. So after your basics have been set, your opponent sets theirs, then you can go ahead and set your prizes. 6 prizes. And once you have your prizes and your basics, you can go ahead and begin. Reveal to your opponent, and they reveal to you, and then the game starts. Alright, so after you've set up, you can now begin your turn. Go ahead and you will draw a card for turn. Whether you go first or second, you will always draw a card. And now in any order, you can play items from your hand. So unlimited amount of items from your hand. Any card that says item in the top corner. You can also play, you can attach a single energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon benched or active. But you can only attach one, just from your hand, only one single Pokemon unless you have a card or ability that lets you do more. But one energy to a Pokemon per turn. And then you can also play a supporter from your hand. You can play one supporter, unlike items, which you can play as many as you want. Supporters, you can only play a single supporter, and so you can play all your items, one supporter, and attach one energy, and this can be in any order you would like, just at some point during your turn, after you draw and before you attack. Once you have played all the cards that you're able to play, anything you play, of course, will go in the discard pile, which is located down below your deck. Once that is done, you can go ahead and declare your attack. Whether it does damage or not, any move on your Pokemon is considered an attack. So once you are in the attack phase, then a couple things change. Alright, so once you declare your attack, you then go into the attack phase. Go ahead and work out whatever attack it is. If it is damage, put damage on the receiving Pokemon. Sometimes other effects, such as searching through your deck or putting a status condition on. If you do indeed cause damage, and that damage is enough, more than the Pokemon's hit points, that Pokemon is knocked out. Then the opponent, whoever knocks out the Pokemon, goes ahead and takes a prize. If it is not denoted on the card how many prizes to take, you would just go ahead and take a single prize. Then there are cards on the bottom text that are hard to see there, but on the card it would say how many prizes to take. Whether it's a tag team, you would take 3 prizes. If it's just a normal GX or EX, you would take 2 prizes. Again, it'll be notated in the bottom. But if it is not notated, then just go ahead and take a single prize. If you do the damage, you knock the Pokemon out, then you go ahead and take your prizes. Once whoever Pokemon is knocked out, before that person takes their turn, you need to go ahead and promote someone from your bench. Has to be already played on your bench up into your active before you can draw. Once you have promoted and the other player has taken their prizes, go ahead and draw, and then you can go ahead and begin your turn, going through all the same steps in the player phase. Alright, this is Cody in post-edit. Looks like I forgot a really important step. Whoops. That is how to win the game. Unfortunately, that slipped my mind somehow when making this tutorial. So, basically you would go through those steps. Each player takes a turn, does the attack back and forth, takes the knockouts, and then how you actually win would be, there's 2 win conditions, or 3 win conditions. You either take 6 prizes, so you take enough knockouts to equal 6 prizes, or you take knockouts until your opponent has no more bench Pokemon. So if they only have 1 Pokemon in their active and nothing on the bench, you knock it out, you win. Or the last win condition is if on your turn, if you cannot draw a card from your deck. So if you have 0 cards remaining in your deck when it is your turn, then you would lose the game. So those are the 3 ways to win the game. Might be a little important to include, so sorry about that, but I hope this works for you. Thank you. Alright, and there's a few extra things to note. When you do have your basic Pokemon down on the field, some Pokemon do indeed evolve. So every Pokemon will say basic, it won't tell you if they evolve on the card itself, but then you'll have the card that evolves from them. I will say stage 1, they just evolve once, or there's stage 2s that evolve again. So the stage 1 card will say stage 1, and it will have the picture of the Pokemon that it evolves from. So the very first turn you play a Pokemon down, it cannot evolve. It doesn't matter if you go first or second, it's just the turn that the Pokemon is in play. Each Pokemon needs to sit 1 turn before it can evolve. Once you have the evolution card in hand, it's been a full turn since Pokemon's been in play, you would play your evolution card on top of the existing Pokemon, like so, and then you would use the attacks and the HP and all the stats of the evolved Pokemon. Then, so there are Pokemon the same way that can evolve twice, so you have your basics, then a turn later have your stage 1, you have to wait a full another turn, that's a whole new Pokemon in play, you would need to wait a new turn to then play the stage 2 down from that, and then you have a nice big beefy Pokemon all in play, ready to go. And on Pokemon's own website, they have a more in-depth rules. You can go and see all their TCG rules. There's a whole 28-page document to read all about a bunch more in-depth, of course, but there's a whole lot there that I could cover in a long video, but this video covers the basics for now, just how to get you started, but more detail on how cards interact, well, status conditions, and just a bit more information. I would definitely recommend checking out Pokemon.com's rules section here. If you buy one of their starter decks, they also have a good little booklet in the starter deck on walking through all the steps of how to play, as well as some details on just some status conditions and a couple other things. So it's a really good little thing you can get just in a basic starter deck, as well as they have the long document that we're looking on right here on their own website. Alright, so that was a basic look on just the simple steps of how to play, just enough to kind of get you going. Of course, there's a bit more interactions, a bit more about the game with your GX attack, and just a handful of other things, and Pokemon's document can help. But if you guys would like another look at this down the road regarding just a couple more things on how to play, I would love to make another video. Let me know in the comments down below if you are interested, but I hope this helps. Thank you for your time. For now, this is Cody with Search My Deck TCG, signing out.